What's good, everybody? EDM Adam here. I wanted to do a quick review of Interstellar Music Festival. For those of you that were in attendance, it's definitely one that was different, kind of weird, for a couple of reasons I'll get into. Much like the Forbidden Kingdom video, just going to break down production quality, the venue, logistics, food and beverage, cell service, any variable that might affect your experience. For some reason this year they moved it to the Kentucky Speedway, and for reasons I can't understand, wanted to do a 3-day camping festival as opposed to just 2. Given the lineup, I can't really see why they tried to spread it so thin, but I guess just trying to make a name for themselves. Ultimately, the venue, much like EDC Vegas, it's a big racetrack, lots of space there. Just felt a little too large for a festival in its second year, and you'll see in some of the footage I got, it just kind of felt like they went too big too fast. If you were there, no matter what day you were there, it became pretty clear it wasn't going to be a packed arena, which, you know, it's kind of nice for some people in some respects and then kind of weird for others. Just kind of depends what you prefer. It was a very intimate festival. It kind of felt like you had the place to yourself. There's no lines for anything. You know, food and beverage was plentiful, a lot of options there. But yeah, it's no secret turnout was low, and granted, it did fill in later at night, right? There was probably, I don't know, I'd have to guess maybe like 800 people over the weekend. That venue, you could have filled that out with like 5, 6, 7,000 people. I will say the venue setup was a little odd. You were just kind of contained to like a semicircle of the racetrack. There wasn't really anywhere to sit. No shade for when the sun was beating down on you, so that was kind of brutal. The VIP experience was basically non-existent. They weren't patrolling VIP bathrooms. I don't know what you really got with a VIP ticket. You definitely didn't get your money's worth if you went VIP. Definitely just sticking with GA was the move. As you can see, I didn't get a ton of great footage of all the different stages because honestly there just wasn't enough people to really fill up all 3, and you know, at most they had 2 busy at the end of each night. But yeah, kind of a strange setup. You know, you just had 3 festivals you just had 3 stages right in a row. The main stage would probably pass for like a second tier stage, like another big festival. You know, so production quality wasn't, you know, anything crazy. At least at main stage, pretty average. The other 2 stages were pretty lackluster. You know, your typical LED screens, nothing crazy. For, you know, some of those people that appreciate, you know, the higher production quality. Definitely still in its early stages as a festival. The value and lineup, you know, this really came down to whether or not you were one of the few people that decided to purchase a camping ticket and stay the whole weekend. If, you know, you're really diehard bass head, it's a pretty bass heavy lineup. I personally couldn't imagine myself camping out in Sparta, Kentucky for a lineup like that. You know, to each his own. I only went Friday of the 3 days because quite honestly that's all I was really interested in with Peekaboo and 7 Lions. But yeah, for just a single day ticket, if you know, just did GA, you know, again, it depends on what you were expecting. I kind of went in with low expectations and was still kind of shocked. In terms of logistics and like getting to the venue, definitely could have done better with like road signage. Ended up spending like 20 minutes driving around the speedway trying to find the right entrance. There wasn't a lot of signage. Yeah, staff and just logistics, you could tell it just kind of felt like amateur hour. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's not what this YouTube channel's about. The staff just didn't have their shit together. You know, there was probably like 15 cars lined up, and it took like an hour just to get those 15 cars through the box office, which was basically just like 2 wooden boxes on a road. And people were checking you in on their phones as opposed to, you know, like any kind of ticket scanner. And then one of the staff members' phones was dead, and it just took too long for such a small amount of people. I understand grassroots and trying to build a scene, but like maybe have like external battery packs if you're going to be running a festival off your cell phones. But yeah, the nice part about it was, you know, there wasn't really a line for a lot of shit. Food and beverage, there was, you know, instead of paying like $17 for like 2 chicken tenders and fries, there was a lot of different options. I got a slice of pizza for like $8. There was, you know, a lot of different vendors, so they did well on setting up, you know, food and beverage. Cell service, one of the underrated things here. I mean, you could FaceTime somebody at this if you wanted. There was like a couple cell towers for it being so remote, I think because there used to be NASCAR events held there. So that's always a perk. Weather, it being early August in Kentucky, Friday was beautiful, full moon out as well, which was kind of cool in the backdrop of the sets. Didn't stay for Saturday and Sunday. I don't think it rained. If it did, it wasn't anything crazy. Like I said, if you were camping, probably a totally different experience. I would not personally buy a camping ticket for a festival that's only 2 years old, but that's just me. And then overall, let's talk about the vibes. Like I said, it was kind of an intimate festival. You kind of felt like you had your own little private show with like a small group of people. At least when I got there Friday. When you walk in Friday at 5 o'clock and you look down at just a massive racetrack and like nobody's there, it was very clear this wasn't going to be, huge energy, super packed festival. As the night went on, people made the most of it. You could have been on the rail if you wanted to. So there are pros and cons to, when a festival kind of undersells its potential, but this just comes down to the organizers just trying to do too much too fast. Definitely need to scale it back to a 2-day festival. Definitely need to find a venue that fits their target audience better. I just don't think you're going to pack out a Kentucky Speedway, especially with that location. Definitely should bring it back to the Cincinnati area where you can get, some Columbus people and just like people from, different regions of the country. It's kind of hard to get a destination festival when you're that, that young in your existence. But overall, I didn't have a terrible time. Like I said, you just kind of had to adjust your expectations once you got there. The lineup was good. Food vendors were good. Production quality is just going to have to get better as time goes on. Festival to keep its eye on. A lot of room for improvement, but hey, more power to them for trying to do something ambitious and grow a scene. Just maybe took too big of a leap forward. I'll be interested to see where the festival goes next year and if they keep it at that venue. I highly doubt it based on the turnout and everything. If you were at the festival, let me know what you guys' thoughts were, what your experience was. If you were there Saturday, Sunday, had a different experience, if it got even more packed. From what I could tell, it never really filled out the way I think they thought it would, but interesting experience. I've never been to a festival quite like that, so there's something. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Thanks so much for watching.